A woman destroyed a model kit worth over $1,000. By the time the dust settled, she lost her savings, her marriage, her kid, and her freedom.
This is one of the wildest escalations I have ever read. And trust me, I have read a lot of stories where people mess with the wrong person's stuff.
So this whole thing started about a year ago, but it just ended, and a friend told me to post it here, so here we go. I live in Turkey, and if you remember, the southeast part of my country got wrecked by a couple of massive earthquakes not too long ago. My city was right at the epicenter. Now, our house survived, thankfully, but a lot of stuff inside got trashed. Shelves came crashing down, things went flying everywhere. One of those shelves was where I kept all my model robot kits. Out of every single kit I owned, only one survived. A custom-built collector's piece that I had put together with my grandfather before he passed away. So yeah, that thing meant everything to me. One model kit survives a literal earthquake, and you already know some human being is about to do what Mother Nature couldn't. I can feel it coming. A few months later, things had calmed down, so my mom invited some relatives over for dinner. One of them was my Aunt Brenda, not short for anything nice, by the way. She brought along her 8-year-old son, who I can only describe as a professionally trained nightmare. While the adults were drinking coffee, this little gremlin barges into my room and demands to use my computer. I said no. I was editing a video for my college club, and my camera was recording. So the kid runs back to her mother crying, and here comes Aunt Brenda screaming at me like I just committed a felony for not handing over my laptop to her precious angel. And while I'm standing there dealing with her, the little monster climbs up my desk, grabs my model kit, the only one that survived the earthquake, the one I built with my late grandfather, drops it and stomps on it. I need a moment. This kid looked at the one thing that survived a natural disaster and said, "Not on my watch." That is genuinely impressive levels of destruction. Like earthquakes couldn't do what this 8-year-old just did with his little sneakers. What followed was just pure chaos, screaming, swearing, me telling them they're paying for every last piece. And Aunt Brenda, she calls me a weirdo for still having toys and says she's not paying for shit. Now here's where things shift. My mom was originally trying to keep the peace. You know, family is family, let's not make it a big deal. But the second she realized which kid it was, the one I made with her father, my grandfather, she went absolutely nuclear. Moms are scary, man. One second she's pouring coffee and being polite, the next second she's dialing a lawyer with murder in her eyes. I respect it. I fear it, but I respect it.
We took the case to a family lawyer, a friend of ours. He looked at the video from my camera, because thank God it was recording, and said we definitely win. He suggested we settle out of court since it'd be cheaper for everyone. So I pulled out a price list for everything I'd need to rebuild an exact replica of what was destroyed. The total came to about $1,000, which in local currency was around 25 to 27,000 lira. $1,000 for a model kit? Look, I'm not going to pretend I understand the hobby, but I do understand the concept of you break it, you buy it. That's like rule number 1 of existing near other people's stuff. Aunt Brenda refused to pay, not a single cent. So we took her to court. She tried everything, delays, excuses, every trick in the book. But the judge wasn't having it. The ruling came down $1,650 plus all border taxes on the replacement kits, plus court fees, plus lawyer fees. It wiped out her entire savings. And here's where it gets really juicy, my people. Her husband, who had apparently been waiting for a reason to leave, saw this financial disaster and filed for divorce immediately. When the dust settled, Aunt Brenda had lost everything. Her savings, gone. Her savings for a new house, gone. Her marriage, gone. Her kids' custody, gone to the ex-husband, and she didn't get a single cent in alimony. This woman went from "I'm not paying for your stupid toy" to losing literally her entire life over a model kit. I've seen dominoes fall before, but this is like someone flicked one domino and it knocked over a whole city. Am I happy her life got destroyed? No, not really. Do I feel sorry it happened? Not in the slightest. She and her little gremlin messed around and found out. Simple as that. I do feel bad for her ex-husband, though. He's the one who has to turn that kid into a functioning human being, and I do not envy that job. Now, you'd think the story ends here, right? Oh no, 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 no. Buckle up. So the judge gave Aunt Brenda a deadline to pay what she owed. The deadline came and went. She paid absolutely nothing. We had no choice. We pushed it into legal collection. Cops showed up at her house. She wasn't there. And by wasn't there, I mean she was literally sitting inside her own house holding her breath like a toddler playing hide and seek. Ma'am, the cops are at your door and your strategy is to just be really quiet? What is this, a horror movie? Maybe if I don't move, they can't see me? That only works for dinosaurs and barely. So the cops had to leave, get a search warrant, come back, and when they finally got inside, they found her packed up and ready to go. She had sold everything she owned, furniture, appliances, all of it. She was planning to flee the country illegally to avoid paying. She was about to pull a whole international escape over a court-ordered payment for a model kit. This woman watched one too many spy movies. And then, when the cops tried to arrest her, she attacked them. She literally clawed one officer in the eye, causing permanent damage. She clawed a cop in the face while being arrested for not paying for a toy she said wasn't worth anything. The irony here is so thick I could spread it on toast. Back to court she went, this time for a lot more than unpaid damages. I can't list every charge, but the judge handed down the sentence. 18 years and 9 months. No chance of parole until year 15. 18 years! From "I'm not paying for your dumb toy" to almost 2 decades behind bars. If there was ever a case study for why you should just apologize and write the check, this is it. Lampade it. Put it in schools. And since she'd already sold everything to fund her great escape, the court took the money she owed us first, recalculated with current exchange rates and taxes, and put the rest into a trust account for her son to access when he turns 18.
Speaking of the kid, remember how the ex-husband got custody? Well, turns out the boy's behavior was so bad that his dad took him to a psychiatrist. The doctor determined that years of his mother's terrible parenting had caused serious behavioral issues. He's now enrolled in a military boarding school for troubled kids. He hates it, apparently. You know what? Maybe getting stomped on model kit karma runs in the family. Kid stomps on something precious, now he's doing push-ups at 6 in the morning while a drill sergeant screams at him. The universe has a sense of humor, and it is dark. As for the money, I would love to say I used it to rebuild that kit, but I had to be smart about it. The government changed the import tax system recently, and the amount I was owed got recalculated way higher than before. We're talking enough money to potentially buy an apartment. So it's sitting in a savings account, growing fatter every day until I graduate. As much as I'd love to spend it all on model kits, I've got to think about the future. My grandfather was incredible with money, raised 2 kids, took care of sick parents, lived a good life, all on 2 teacher salaries. If I can be half as smart as him with this, it'll last me a long time. My little brother's gotten into the hobby now too. He watched me build kits growing up, and now he's hooked. I recently let him help me put one together, and he built his own too. They're both sitting on his shelf now. I'm slowly rebuilding my collection, and since he wants some of his own, I might grab doubles so we can build them together. All right, let me break this down. First off, absolute masterclass in not letting people walk all over you. The camera was rolling, the receipts were ready, and instead of letting family pressures sweep it under the rug, this person said, "Nah, we're doing this the legal way." That's how you handle it. I respect the play. But let's talk about Aunt Brenda for a second. She had so many chances to make this go away. pay $1,000, apologize, move on with your life. Instead, she chose the refuse, dodge, hide, flee the country, and assault a police officer route. That's not a legal strategy, that's a Netflix documentary waiting to happen. Now, if it were me, and I'm just saying, I would have settled this much faster. I would have simply never invited anyone to my house ever. Problem solved. No relatives, no brats, no broken kits. Just me, my model kits, and my beautiful, beautiful solitude. That's not antisocial, that's asset protection. Look it up. All right, that was wild. If you've got a story where someone messed with the wrong person's stuff and lived to regret it, drop it in the comments. I want to read it. I want to judge it. Hit that subscribe button. Or don't, but you will be back. They always come back. Hades out.